Family of 35-year-old Onyinyechi Peter is still reeling from shock after losing her 16-year-old son, Miracle, and her 17-year-old brother, Emma, in Elibolo, Obiabo. Our correspondent Mekotoka reports that the boys drowned while trying to help someone trapped in the flood. On their way back, Emma's slippers slipped off, and as they tried to retrieve it, the strong current swept them away.
As I came back, I said, where is them? One our neighbor nan answer that the man, someone called them to come and help them. As they're on the way going, including the neighbor follow to go and help the person. The person is crossing to enter their house. So they already helped finish. On their way coming, they say the slippers of my son remove. As he remove and he fell down, they trying to pick the slippers. They say leave the slippers. He tried to collect it. Now that my brother bring him my son back. So there's no way. The water now took two of them.
One of the bodies was recovered on Sunday morning around the Eluzu Bridge. Mrs. Peter, whose home was submerged, is currently staying with a neighbor. She says neighbors saw the boys struggling but couldn't save them.
Why the other boy that with them, he come back home, come and tell the mother, look what happened. And the mother saw what happened. The mother said that he saw them when they was inside the water. He think they are playing. They didn't do anything, they don't care. Before the water carried my son, they said that I was shouting, help, help, help me. One man said that he heard a sound inside the room, but he couldn't come out to come and help. Since that is 80 now, they haven't found any coffee. I have not seen them.
Residents blame the tragedy on an overflowing canal along GU Ake Road, which they say has caused constant flooding in the area.
Yesterday, I went to church. Before coming back, as I reach here, I can't see flood. I make a U-turn. We slept outside. Everywhere was covered with flood. Inside house, everything inside my house tumbled upside down. Till now, the water is still there. So I'm belling it. Since morning, I never see that. I'm belling the water. It's not even going out. It's from the canal. When the canal is filled up, the thing will divert. Even yesterday, 2 lives were lost.
As I came back from work today, I noticed that water has entered my houses, frequent flooding over the years. The house is very close to a canal. Government should come with a way of deepening the canal to help the water to flow well.
Look at my shoe, my phone, my soup, my rice, my small market I'm managing. Everything turned upside down yesterday. We don't even have where to sleep.
Meanwhile, a guest house manager, Augustina Ebaya, also confirmed that all rooms in her facility were flooded.
I didn't experience this kind of flood before in my life. I just see flood. Everything that is inside the hotel now has spoiled. Both speaker, fridge, generator, bed, everything is soaked with the water. They should come and help also because like this we need help. Let them sort out whether they can help us and do 1 or 2 inside the canal.
Community stakeholder and former deputy leader of the Obiabo Legislative Council, Kelvin Wanwa, is appealing to the state government to dredge and pile up the canal to prevent future disasters.
Yes, you have done these interviews here. But yesterday, it was so surprising that the water submerged everywhere, even past beyond where it used to stop before. From this point, entering to the community, like, my prayer is this, please, His Excellency will know you are a good man. You won't see your people suffer. Please, this is one good project that you will do in this administration that people will be happy and will remain grateful for life. Because once this is done, the problem here is solved.
Still talking floods, the coordinator of Engeni Flood Disaster Response Organization, Dr. Abieba Enieta, says the people of Arashi are unhappy that the government is yet to take proactive steps to support victims this rainy season.
The speed of the annual flood affecting Awuda West local government area of Rivers State, including other areas of the Arashi region, became faster in the last 4 days, probably because of the heavy downpour. The flood, however, is yet to affect human settlements. No meaningful measures have been taken by relevant authorities to mitigate the negative effects of the flood on the inhabitants of the affected areas. The flood, however, continues to increase by the day.
He says the latest flash floods have worsened the plight of farmers in the area.
It has, however, ravaged farmlands, forcing farmers to engage in more panic harvesting of their crops. This has grossly affected farmers' profit-making in the sales of their agricultural produce. For instance, during last Imbiama market day, a basin of garri was sold between 7,000 naira and 8,000 naira, as against 13,000 naira and 15,000 naira prior to the flooding of the area. A cement bag of unprocessed cassava crop was sold at 2,500 naira and 3,000 naira, as against 6,000 naira and 7,000 naira.
The River State government says it's not folding its arms. The State Flood Prevention and Management Committee, chaired by Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu, met over the weekend. For the first time since its suspension, she assured that the committee will roll out strategies to reduce the impact of flooding using what she described as a three-pronged approach. Now, there's also a growing push for accountability after the fire that gutted part of the River State Secretariat. The International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights warned the state government to investigate the incident. Chancellor of the group, Dr. Jackson Omenazo, says uncovering the truth is key to accountability.
If the fire was as a result of human error, adequate safety and preventive measures should be instituted. But if investigation reveals that it was an act of criminal sabotage, then every perpetrator involved must be made to face the full wrath of the law. We call on Rivers State government to ensure that no stone is left unturned in uncovering the truth behind the incident. Accountability, vigilance must remain the foundation of good governance and public trust.
He also commended the government's plan to renovate the complex.
This project, neglected for several years by past administration, is a critical infrastructure that serves as the administrative heartbeat of the state. Its dilapidated condition has become a symbol of institutional decay and neglect of workers' welfare. The decision of the present administration to give it a comprehensive facelift represents a step forward to restoring dignity, efficiency, and public confidence in governance establishment.
Away from that, the River State government says it remains committed to empowering and protecting the rights of the girl child. Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu said this in her goodwill message to mark this year's International Day of the Girl Child. She says prioritizing girls' education helps unlock their potential and turn them into agents of positive change. This year's theme, The Girl I Am, The Change I Lead, Girls on the Front Lines of Crisis, celebrates the resilience of girls, especially those in crisis situations. Some young girls in Port Harcourt also shared their thought on why this day matters.
I feel like it's a very special one, mostly to the new generations, even the old ones, mostly girls, because in most traditions, girls are really underrated, mostly like in the northern parts. Girls are being forced to marry at young age, do things that they don't wish at their own will to do. But to this celebration, I feel like girls are cherished to know their rights and their worth.
I'm proud of being a girl. I'm proud of everything because girls are the best. We are the ones who bring babies to the world. Without girls, there's no world.
Throughout the world, girls need to be celebrated. They need to know that they are cherished, that they are loved. And I feel so important today as a girl child.
Now, the family of late environmental activist Ken Saro-Wiwa has rejected the presidential pardon granted to the Ogoni Nine by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ken Saro-Wiwa's younger brother, Harry Wiwa, says what they want is exoneration and not pardon, insisting the Ogoni Nine committed no crime. He's also calling for a retrial of the case. Meanwhile, there's jubilation in the family of Mariam Sanda, the woman sentenced to death in 2020 for killing her husband, Beliamino Bello. She was among those granted presidential pardon. The presidency says her family pleaded for her release in the interest of her two children and highlighted her good conduct and remorse in prison. But some of these pardons have not gone down well. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Tinubu's decision to grant presidential pardon to individuals convicted of serious crimes, calling it reckless and dangerous. Atiku says the power of pardon is supposed to uphold justice and strengthen public trust, but Tinubu's latest action does the opposite. He argues that Granting clemency to people convicted of drug trafficking, kidnapping, murder, and corruption undermines the justice system and emboldens criminality. The former vice president also points out that nearly 30% of those pardoned were convicted for drug-related offenses, warning that it sends the wrong message at a time when Nigeria is struggling with insecurity and drug abuse. He adds that the decision is even more troubling given the president's own unresolved past involving drug investigation in the United States. Atiku insists that clemency should never be confused with complicity and says Nigeria deserves a leadership that upholds justice, not one that trivializes it. Still to come, there is more criticism for President Bola Tinubu's pardon and clemency recently announced for about 175 persons. We'll tell you all about these criticisms after this break. Please do stay with us. You're welcome back. Now, the African Democratic Congress has slammed President Bola Tinubu's decision to grant presidential pardons to dozens of convicted criminals, including drug traffickers, calling it pathetic and a national disgrace. In a statement on Sunday, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, says the move undermines Nigeria's war against drugs, encourages criminality, and damages the country's international reputation. The party argues that granting clemency to offenders who have barely served 2 years for crimes that attract life imprisonment is a gross abuse of presidential powers. It also warns that the decision sends a disturbing message that mere remorse and token rehabilitation are now enough to secure freedom for serious crimes like drug trafficking, gun running, and murder. The ADC insists that clemency should be reserved for correcting miscarriages of justice and reintegrating reformed offenders, not excusing dangerous criminals. It also notes that the pardon is a slap in the face of NDLEA officers who risk their lives to combat drug trafficking, adding that the action gives the world the impression that Nigeria is sympathetic to drug dealers. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Rome, Italy, to attend the Akaba Process Heads of State and Government level meeting focused on security in West Africa. The summit begins Tuesday, October 14, and brings together African leaders, intelligence chiefs, and international organizations. The Akaba process was launched in 2015 by Jordan's King Abdullah II and is co-chaired by Italy. The president will be accompanied by top security and foreign affairs officials. Away from that, a joint transport union operating in River State has accused the chairman of Eche local government area, Chima Boniface Njoko, of recruiting an illegal task force to harass its members. The union, which includes the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Heavy Duty Section, the Nigerian Association of Agricultural Product Dealers, and the Duty Haulage and Transport Association of Nigeria, says the alleged tout have been collecting at least 5,000 naira from each driver at the Imo River. Speaking at a media conference in Port Harcourt, Director of the Nigerian Association of Agricultural Dealers, Elion Olibo, who spoke on behalf of the group, described the act as double taxation since they already pay levies to the state government.
Our drivers pay haulage fee to River State Internal Revenue Services agents for the executive chairman of Eche local government to forcefully collect haulage fee of 5,000 and another nameless ticket of 2,000 naira. It amounts to double taxation of our drivers. If every local government that comes across the federal highway from Port Harcourt to Kano State begins to collect haulage fee from our drivers, it means each driver will pay haulage fee to over 300 local governments.
Now, in a communique signed by union leaders Kingsley Ofebu and Humble James, the group demanded an end to what they call illegal levies.
We hereby call on the Executive Governor of River State, His Excellency Sasim Fubara, the Minister of FCT, His Excellency Chief Barisanyo Somike, and the stakeholders of River State, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 16, the Commissioner of Police, River State, the DSS, to call Honorable Boniface Chima Njoko to order. If nothing is done to correct this illegality, we will be left with no other choice than to mobilize over 2,000 of our members to protest at Port Harcourt Aba Express Road by Imo River, Oyibo.
But the head of the Eche task force at Imo River, Akanchawa, denied the allegation, insisting that any levy collected is legal because the transporters operate within Eche. He also accused the union members of ignoring an invitation from the Eche Council chairman to discuss their operations in the area. Reacting to the allegation, the chairman of the Eche local government area, Chima Boniface Njoko, says he has declared Mr. Kingsley Chinedu Ofebu, popularly known as Baron, and Mr. Nwoha Levi wanted for allegedly masterminding the abduction of 8 council officials. Mr. Njoko, in an interview, accused Baron and Levi of leading armed men to attack and kidnap 8 council officials stationed at Umuebulu Junction by the Imo Bridge last Thursday. He says investigations revealed that the armed men came from the FCID annex in Owani, Enugu State, and acted without the approval of the River State Police Command.
And they came to River State without investigation activities and they used bullets and destroyed vehicles of council workers. The evidence is here with me and in the police station. Their matter has been reported to state CID and police headquarters. That swiftly ordered them to bring the people back. They left Port Harcourt, they took them to Enugu State and hid them under one division. This Baron and the Levi, they should go to the police and surrender themselves there. We are not a chicken republic country. I said I don't want them.
The Eche Council has also announced a 1 million naira cash reward for anyone with useful information that can lead to the arrest of the suspect. The council chairman also responded to claims that he set up an illegal task force.
Are they from a local government? As the chief security officer of the local government, are they the one to tell me to direct me? Am I a unionist? What they are talking is their own personal interest. Union and government, I said they should take that there. So go whatever, go to their local. They should leave my local government alone. Two people who made this statement, they have a matter to answer, both in Abuja and in Port Harcourt.
Well, we're not done with Eche. This time, let's inform you that the Eche Local Government Council has announced a 2-week suspension of a 2-week suspension of the ban on sand dredging activities in the area, with the exception of 2 companies currently in court with the council and the federal government. In a statement signed by the chairman of Echi local government area, Chima Njoko, the affected companies are Anston Services Nigeria Limited, located close to the bridge by the slaughter, and Land People Limited at Chokocho along Iweche Road. Now, he explained that the ban on these 2 companies will remain in place until the court decides on the matter. According to the statement, all other dredging companies are permitted to resume operations from Monday, October 13, while the suspension lasts. Our trip now takes us to Gokana, where the people of Bera community in Gokana local government area have honored Senator Magnus Abe for what they describe as his outstanding contributions to human capital development and socio-economic growth of the area.
Nigeria Info.
The recognition came during a grand ceremony on Saturday at the Bera Town Hall, where the theme, Celebration of Excellence, Chairman of the Central Planning Committee, Deacon Godi Badom, praised Senator Abe for his selfless service and the lasting impact he has made, especially on young people in the community.
We are privileged to elect Senator Magnus Abe, Chairman, National Agency for Great Green Wall, former Senator representing Rivers Southeast Senatorial District, Chairman Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, former governorship candidate, former secretary to the Rivers State Government, former commissioner for work, for information, former member, Rivers State House of Assembly. Your community recognizes your service and applaud your success. Your willingness to mentor and support the younger ones is deeply appreciated.
In his response, Senator Magnus Abe, who currently chairs the National Agency for the Great Green Wall, thanked the paramount ruler, His Royal Highness Mene Magnus Adumene Deko, and the people of Bera for the honor. Now, he pledged to keep supporting the growth and development of the community.
I always say to people that no matter how big you become, if you're not big at home, then you're small. So I think the community has said that they appreciate the little we have done to support the community, and we also appreciate the support that this community has given to us. For me in particular, without this community, I will be nothing in politics. So I'm very, very grateful to the community, and I feel really honored to be recognized today by my own people.
Other distinguished sons of Bera who were also honored include Victor Giadom, Professor Warayo Be, Done Birane, Professor Hope Isaac, Professor Friday Be, Professor Clever Banado, and Ambassador Bara Awanem. Moving on to Omoma now, the paramount ruler and first-class monarch of Omoma, His Majesty King Onyekachi Amowo, has launched a new security initiative tagged Operation Know Your Neighbor. The initiative, unveiled during the monthly security meeting at his palace in Eberi, is aimed at sustaining Omoma local government area as one of the most peaceful areas in Rivers State. Representatives of security agencies, youth leaders, traditional chiefs, and community groups from all 52 communities were present at the meeting. After reviewing last month's security situation, it was agreed that residents must make conscious effort to know those living around them, while selected youth will be profiled by the police and mobilized to help keep the area safe. Eze Omoma said the community's foundation is built on Christ, which according to him guarantees peace and development. He commended security agencies and community leaders for their commitment, noting that the community's alternative dispute resolution system currently operates at 80% effectiveness. The monarch also highlighted ongoing effort to curb drug abuse, especially with inflows from neighboring Abia State, as community leaders, including CDC Chairman Comrade Nkem Anonam and youth leader Comrade Okudiri Wankwo, pledged to support the new security measures. Also, the Rivers State APC Students Wing has appealed to political actors in the state to avoid actions and statements that could trigger another round of crisis. Leader of the group, Endwell Otona, in a statement, congratulated Governor Siminala Ifubara on his reinstatement and praised him for prioritizing peace in the state. The statement also congratulated the 20 newly elected local government chairmen who emerged on the APC platform during the August 30th election, urging them to take the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu to the grassroots. Mr. Otonda also commended the Tony Okocha-led APC, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and President Tinubu for what he described as their outstanding leadership and efforts to reposition the party. The Rivers APC Students' Wing added that preparations are ongoing for its end-of-year celebration and novelty football tournament. We go on a short commercial break right now.
This is the voice of the
And the whole the other group game involving South Africa and Rwanda ends in a draw or a win for Rwanda to stand a chance of reaching next year's FIFA World Cup. On the international scene, the handover of 48 Israeli hostages, including 20 believed to be alive, is expected to begin in Gaza at 8 local time. Hamas, which has held the hostages since its October 7, 2023 attacks, has released a list of those set to be freed. Crowds are gathering in Tel Aviv's Hostages Square to await the news, with many describing the moment as one that unites the country. In exchange, Israel will release 250 Palestinian prisoners and more than 1,700 detainees as U.S. President Donald Trump prepares to arrive for talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, this is the news for this hour, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. We reported how flood killed 2 teenagers in Obiakpo community. We also told you that ASU has begun a 2-week strike despite federal government's plea. You also heard Atiku and the ADC condemn President Tinubu's pardon, even as family of late Ken Saro-Wiwa rejects presidential pardon for Ogoni 9, demanding exoneration and retrial. I will told you why the Eche local government chairman has declared 2 persons wanted. The news was edited by Ufoma Ebamano. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ife Chukwumoyele. Many thanks for listening.